Episode 1, am I right? Okay, so welcome to the new channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ty, aka Finch Zero, the creator / producer of Millennium Exile. If you don't know what Millennium Exile is, it's an anime project that I'm heading, which I'm taking to Japan to hopefully get an anime adaptation. I live in Brisbane, Australia, and this is going to be a new segment that we're doing where I'm just going to be ranting, talking a little bit about anime. Like we might do some reviews. We might talk about some anime news. Enlightening people. Daniel, with some context. Daniel, thank you. That's exactly right. We might be enlightening some people. We may be making some people a little bit dumber, but hopefully not. I'm unsure as to what we're calling this segment. I'm thinking TyRants is something that Dan's thrown out into the wilderness here. But anyways, so enough about the introductions. You guys have seen the thumbnail of this video. You've clicked on the title. This is going to be a rant about me talking about why I stopped watching One Punch Man. This is just me, how I feel about things, my current lay of the land, why I feel the way that I feel about them. I'm going to try and justify it as best I can. If you disagree with me, that's awesome. I hope we can have an intellectual discussion about this. This is YouTube, so probably not. But if you're going to get a little bit carried away with some of the nonsense, I mean, maybe click over to one of the other channels where you can do your best trolling. I'm not sure. Episode 1, right out the gate, I was warned by Dan not to be too saucy for the first video. So I decided to go right for the sauce and talk about why I hated One Punch Man Season 2 and why I stopped watching it. So, let's start with the history of One Punch Man. One Punch Man was initially a webcomic created by an author who goes by the pen name of One, so O-N-E. He was just about to give up, from what I understand in this interview. One was just about to get a normal job, give up on his dream. And very popular mangaka Yusuke Murata, high caliber artist. He jumped in and they became like this dynamic duo with One doing the writing and Yusuke doing the art. And from there, the manga exploded, which led us into late 2015, early 2016 with the debut of the anime series titled One Punch Man. I loved One Punch Man. I really, really did. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was phenomenal. The animation was top shelf. Even in areas where it probably didn't need to be, they still demonstrated such a high level of passion, a high level of interest and love for this project. You could feel it when you picked up episode 1. And this show isn't even... It's not even everybody's cup of tea, but when you give it a little bit of space, a little bit of room to grow on you, you'll find that it's more people's cup of tea than what you'd initially think. I remember watching episode 1 at the very start, and I really thought this is just a gag manga. I'm not a gag anime. I'm not really going to get into this. And then there was a certain point where something funny happens in episode 1, and I shot coke out of my nose. I haven't done that since I was a kid with like milk. But I thought, you know what, like it was funny, I really enjoyed it. So we went with it. Like I decided I was gonna give this a couple episodes. I was gonna give this a little bit of time to warm up. And every episode just got better and better and I got hooked. But it's all about your passions and your will shaping who you become, quite literally. And so it revolves around this man by the name of Saitama, who only wants to be strong and he wants to become a hero. And so he trains like a madman and he eventually becomes so strong that he can defeat anything in just one punch. And soon after that, the story revolves around his struggle, around being human after that. Colors sort of lose their vibrancy, food loses its taste. He struggles with the mundane day-to-day life that is his world now that he's so strong. There's no passion, there's no fire. And the story's brilliant, telling like the story of Saitama and telling and going on this journey with him. The animation is just top shelf, like I said. The music was amazing. And I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan. Other people who have never really had the interest to get involved in anime have watched One Punch Man and had high things to say about it. It's a very cleverly written, well-produced show. So yeah, no, season 2 got announced. We were all pretty hyped. We came off the back of this last fight between Saitama and Boros, and it was really mixed reactions, man. I really watched the trailer and I thought, wow, like the color grading felt different, the palettes felt different, like the animation looked a little bit rougher.
They were trying to go for a bit too much realism in some points.
I feel like that's kind of what they tried to do with the metal textures.
Yeah.
And because so much is metal around in that One Punch Man sort of world, I feel like the metal textures they almost become the focal point of any scene, even if they're not supposed to be. Like if Genos is standing in the background and Saitama's in the foreground, your eyes can't help but be sort of like they draw over to his arms. And it's off-putting. I don't know if I like it. I feel like they would have been good if it was with a different art style. Like if you put that kind of metal maybe into something from UFO Table, who's widely known from the Fate Stay 9. And most recently Demon Slayer. Like it's a highly polished, very detailed art style. I really feel like that'd probably lend itself really well.
I feel like they just went and saw like what Dragon Ball Z would like fight lasting 8 episodes, and we were like, how do we make this 10 seconds?
I tell you what vibe I got from it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an animator, and I don't claim to be. I know I'm trying to get an anime off the ground, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to say that I could do better. But when we have something like season 1 to compare it to, it really feels like when you look at these back to back, and I know the studio changed. Let's address the studio real quick. It changed from Madhouse to JC Staff. Now a lot of people immediately got red flags when they heard about this. That wasn't for me. JC Staff is still an amazing studio. They put out some quality content. They're well capable of animating some brilliant shows. So the director changed and the studio changed. And I don't think it was so much people were concerned because it was JC Staff. I think they were concerned because why would you take something that did so well and then decide to make the creative change? Why change directors and studio now? You know, you read your articles and you get an idea as to why it happened. But I was still hopeful that we'd get a good season 2. And what I really looked at when I watched season 2 was the parallels that I made it between was like season 2 is just a really good Flash animation. You know, I know that sounds rough, but I mean like a really good Flash animation, Dan. I mean, like don't send the people with pitchforks and don't send the mob to me yet. I mean like really good Flash animation, but I really feel like they cut as many corners to reduce as much sort of dynamic motion as they need as possible. Like how can we tell this story? How can we have this fight scene with as few moving parts as possible? I know they still have some animation in there, but it's choppy. It's really split. You get these these really fast little choppy frames.
Do you feel like the focus went, let's forget the story a little bit and focus on the visuals, but they focused on it in a bad way? I'm
really not sure, to be honest with you. I don't know that was the thing. I don't know if it was. I mean, because I didn't even find the visuals appealing. The story's actually fine. The story, to my opinion, the stories they're sticking to the manga.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the story, and that gets me to another point. The manga, it's still going, and this is one of the few times that I watched a season, really enjoyed it, and then decided, okay, I need to continue this, so I'm going to read the manga. So I thought, I've got to, like My Hero Academia. Solid first few seasons. Like season 1 kicked off and I really felt like I couldn't wait to see more My Hero Academia. But I didn't read the manga. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. I don't know why I do that, but sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Some series I decide I'm just gonna go off on my own. Because we were getting My Hero Academia season 2 and 3 and all that, like in closer succession, and we weren't getting One Punch Man for a few years. But I went off and I decided, no, I'm gonna go read the manga, and I'm past this point in the manga where the series 2 is, and so I knew about these fights leading up, like in the martial arts tournament and things like that. I knew what was gonna happen, and I was honestly trying not to build it up too much in my head, but I knew what season 1 would have given us. I knew what Madhouse would have given us with that content, and I was hyped. I was excited, you know. I was super excited for that, and I really, really feel like we got bare essential, bare bones. I think I made a statement on Twitter saying that season 2 feels like it was left in the hands of like amateur animators or new animators with no real budget and no real experienced staff sort of looking over and watching and supervising the project. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that is why I stopped watching One Punch Man season 2.
Do you think it's like worthwhile for people who still love it to like just watch it and stay up to date?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't tell anybody not to watch it. I wouldn't do that, because there's always stuff that's somebody's cup of tea. Like I'm part of a Discord community called Anime Soul, and I was talking to a lot of people in there, and they're finding it great. You know, they're enjoying it. They don't see any problems with it, in fact. Which is why, you know, this is a subjective opinion. This is why, you know, this is how I feel about it. I understand there's going to be people that are going to agree, they're going to disagree, they might somewhat sort of lean with me on some issues. But just to take the temperature down in the comment section, yeah, this is just a subjective opinion. I'd always say check it out. Never just watch a video and decide based on some scrub that's in front of a camera telling you, oh, this is crap, and then go, you know what, that is crap. Don't ever do that. Always check it out for yourself, you know? But then you can come back to a video like this and listen to the words coming out of my mouth and go, you know what, he's full of shit.
And then you can move down in comments.
Yeah, you just drop those down in the comments, you know?
Or if you agree, leave that down in the comments as well.
Yeah, you know, you might lean with me and say, nah, you know, you make some good points. You know, I watched season 1, now I watched season 2 and it felt lackluster, had no soul. Yeah. Even though this is like episode 1 of the new series, we went with. I threw it out on social media, asking if anybody wanted me to cover some questions, have some questions answered that they wanted, and we got some good ones. So we might do what, maybe two or three. What do you think?
So, what has been your motivation to be so committed to this project and creation of it? And I think that question's not just TyRants, or whatever this is going to be called, but it's also that poster behind you.
Yes, Millennium Exile. So this is, who's that from?
That is from Michael.
Michael Swan?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I read. What's been my motivation and for staying so
committed to this project? Because like, how long have you been doing MilEx for?
I've been doing Millennium Exile for 10 years now. I believe in if you're going to write something, don't just knock something out in a month or two. I believe if you're going to write something that's really a story worth telling, if you want to tell like an epic tale, I think you've got to spend years on that. You know, because you need to develop as a writer. I've learned a lot from my shortcomings, and even to this day, I'm still finding plot holes and fixing things from the early writings, you know, the early backbone. As far as staying motivated, I'd have to say passion, man. Passion would be it. I've always believed that if you're not passionate about something, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you're not passionate about something, you need to get out and find something to be passionate about. If you're not giving yourself a chance to be passionate about something, like, we've all got commitments, and I understand some people's commitments are far greater than others. But I'd say you need passion. You absolutely need passion. If you're not passionate about something, you are not living. You're just staying alive.
How is it that you have so many miscreated videos still shit?
I know who that's from. That's from Cohen, good mate of mine. Cohen, kindly go fuck yourself. I carry you in that game. I fucking carry you in Miscreated. Do you fucking hear me, Cohen? You miss every shot and you fuck every fucking scenario up. I'm sorry, I'm getting saucy. No, I'm getting saucy. Right. I'm not shit at Miscreated.
Alright. What do you do to get out of a rut? What's your method of like
getting out like that creative what? Oh man. Okay, so running water, being around running water, most of Millennium Exile's been written in the shower. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Most of Millennium Exile was written in the shower. Okay, so that's pretty much it for episode 1. Thank you for swinging by.
You should swing by the Patreon.
Yes, okay, well, Dan with the plug there, telling me to look at the camera because I'm looking at him too much. Yeah, if you're a fan of Millennium Exile, thank you already. If you're not, please, I'll leave a link to the main website down below. The main website's going to link to all the major socials. Just don't be lazy. It's all there. You know, I'm not going to give you everybody link on your own. You find it all on the website. It's there. It's nicely put out for you. If you want to support the project and you want to support what we're doing here, please, I'll leave a link to the Patreon down below. Everything does support the Millennium Exile project, and hopefully we can maybe grow this channel, grow this series, and we can, you know, give us a chance to grow. All right, guys. Thanks for swinging by, and peace.